It's time to embrace it. The Community Podcast, exploring the intricacies of personal growth, mental health, and resilience in the face of life's challenges. Topics tailored for a global audience. Now, let's talk about it with your host, Bracy Goodwin.
Hey, good afternoon, good evening to everyone, wherever you're joining from. It's so good to see everybody again. So good to have you all on here again. And I just want you to sit back and relax. We're going to talk about a few things that are kind of touchy subject, and a lot of people don't like to talk about this subject here. And when we talk about suicide prevention, a lot of people don't really like to talk about it, but we are going to. This is Suicide Prevention Month, so I'm going to make sure that since I am an advocate for it, so I'm going to make sure that I talk a lot about it this entire month, even during the week. I might pop on and go live during the week and talk about it. So I just want to, first of all, thank you all for joining in. And I just want to make sure that this live feed is coming in and people are able to get on. So if you're having some problem getting on, I'll go ahead and add my page too. But it should be streaming. But I want to make sure it is. So because it's like I said, this is a subject that we don't talk about that much. So suicide prevention, suicide prevention is a topic that is close to my heart. And today, taking a pause to acknowledge something deeply, real deep and important to my community, the Embrace It Community Podcast. September being National Suicide Prevention Month. And as many as you know, I am just not your host today, but in someone who has dedicated my life to suicide prevention and being an advocate for it. So this isn't just an awareness for me. It's personal. It is personal because I did lose a good friend to suicide prevention, and so this show is about the lives that I know we can save. I know we can save lives. I know we can. So I'm going to really do my best this month to be so in tune to people, the people in the community, and everyone that I reach on the show. I'm going to make it a point that I am touching and reaching someone today. So this conversation we can start and hope to restore someone's life.
I know it's been so hard and you don't know what it all means. But don't you ever let go. See, there's a reason you're still standing after all you've seen. So don't you ever let go. Don't let go. Don't let go. Oh my. Please just don't ever let go. You're getting tired, and it feels like it's been going on for years. Oh, but don't you ever let go. Nothing wrong with crying. There's no denying, let out all your tears. Mm. But please just don't ever let go. Don't let go. Don't let go. Oh my. Don't you ever let go. Don't let go. Don't let go. Oh my. Don't you ever let go. Oh.
That's my message. That's my message to people. I don't want anyone to ever let go. You know, when I think about what it means to embrace it, um, the name it means something to me. Number one, my son gave me the name. He said, "Dad, call the show Embrace It." You know, and we talked and we shared some things about what we face, and so he came up with this name, and I said, "Wow, what a positive name to have." Seeing that, you know, there have been times, and I don't care who you are, you know, the devil is the devil, and he's going to speak to you at one point in time in your life and going to say, well, why don't you just go ahead and end your life? Go and try, you know, because of the who he is. That's what he comes to do: kill, steal, and destroy. So, and I've had that thought. This was many years ago, still living in New York, and I remember, you know, responding back, no, I have children, I have babies, and I want to see them grow up. So the Embrace It Community Podcast model is I think about embracing the hard truths. I'm about the truth that's going on and that's not being talked about. Being talked about at work. It's not being talked about at home. It's not being talked about with your children. You know, the church is now starting to evolve in it. Some churches are, you know, so we're talking about the hard truth, the truth that suicide is the second leading cause to death among people the ages from 10 to 34. Um, I've seen it happen to someone older, but the truth is that we lose someone to suicide every 11 minutes in this country. But also, the truth is that it's preventable. It is preventable. So, I've seen firsthand how powerful our words can be and how a single conversation can change someone's trajectory. You know, they might just by talking to you, and it may seem strange, and you'll say, "Why are they talking to me about this?" Just make sure that you are paying attention to that and being a wise listener, because that's their cry. Some people will just come to you and just start talking about something. So that's how, and that's why this mouth that I have here is it's not about stats. I'm not about numbers. I'm not about followers. It's about it should be about each and every one that's becoming that lifeline to someone. So that's why. And I've had so many opportunities to be that listener. And if I reflect back to when I lived in Ohio and I was a bus driver, and my thing was when I started my day pre-trip in the bus. Of course, I did that, and then I made sure that I had prayer before I went out on the road for protection for myself, protection for the bus, no accidents, and my passengers and them as well. And then every once in a while, I might take like $5 of $4 or $10 and fold it up and put it in my pocket up here. And that was like pretty much all the cash I carried, because you never know who you meet when you're in the neighborhood. Someone might be hungry, someone may not have the fare. And I've been that guy that, you know, I stated the policy. Well, they'll get on the bus and they'll say, I don't have any money, but I'm just trying to get home. Had it happen so many times. And policy was we're supposed to state the policy. Supposed to call Radio Central and say, you know, hey, da 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 da, da. And then they'll wind up saying, okay, let them ride. So I stated the policy so that just in case it was recorded, I stated the policy, and then I said, go ahead, have a seat. So when I did that one time, this guy got on the bus, and all of a sudden he comes up and we're going down the road. He just starts talking to me. He says, man, I don't know what I'm going to do. I have a family, and all I have is enough money for bus fare for the rest of the week as I'm trying to find a job. or do I feed my family? I just started listening to him. And he just started talking to me. And I was like, wow, I'm sorry to hear that, man. I've been there before and I've walked in your shoes. And I shared my testimony about, trying to decide if I put money in my car for gas or do I go buy me something to eat? And I've had that happen. So I shared it with him. And so he was just like, yeah, just reflecting and talking. So we got to a stop. He rang the bell. We got to a stop. And I went in my pocket. I think I had $10. And I told him, I reached his hand. I said, man, reach your hand out. I said, man, have a blessed day. And he looked at me, man. He was like, thank you. Thank you. So that's my personal reflection moment that I have become from being a bus operator because we are the people in the community. We see people, we talk to people each and every day. So throughout my advocacy work, I've learned that people in crisis aren't necessarily waiting or wanting to die. They want their pain to stop. And that's the thing that we don't understand. They don't really want to die. They just want that pain to stop. And that's why we come in, and that's where the community comes in. When we embrace each other's struggles, we actually listen to them without judgment. That's the first thing we're going to do. And we show up consistency. We become a part of someone's reason to stay. And if you can show a person a reason to stay by just saying, hang in there, I got you, give me your number, I'll stay in touch with you, whatever it does, whatever the situation is, you will see that how much you can impact somebody's life. I have thousands of stories how I've impacted someone's life. So one another situation where it was the dead of winter in Columbus, Ohio, and it's very cold there. It's like sometimes in the morning it's like 12 degrees and stuff like that. This lady gets on the bus coming from the shelter because that was part of the stop. And when she leans her stroller back, the handle breaks on it and it just breaks. And so people are now helping her with the baby that's in the stroller and also the baby that she's carrying. So she gets on the bus and she moves to the back. And I didn't even say, put your fare in. I said, just go ahead, find yourself a seat. And this entire ride, I heard the Lord saying to me, buy her a stroller. And I'm like driving. I'm like, okay, how do I do that? I'm not, I can't just say that. So I called her back up to the front. I said, hey, where you going? And she said she's getting off downtown and she has a job interview. And I think it was a job interview at one of the stores downtown. I said, well, how long are you going to be there? And she says, I'll be there for this amount of time. I said, well, directly across the street is our headquarters, 33 High Street. It was the headquarters. I said, can you meet me there at 10 o'clock? And she said, sure, I'll meet you there. And so what I did was, because I had a split shift, I got off the bus. And when I ended my morning, I went directly to Walmart and I went and I purchased a stroller. I had no clue how much strollers cost today, but it was expensive, but I was just being obedient. And I went and I purchased that stroller. And then she met me back over there at 33 North High Street. And I had one of the maintenance guys put it together for her. And man, this made her day. This really made her day. And she smiled. And some of the people from upstairs, they came down and they took pictures and it was like, wow, this was really, really, really nice of you to do that. So this is what I do. So right now, my plea to you is this: if you need help, if you need immediately help, this is what I need you to do. Please reach out. I need you to call um, 988. That is the suicide prevention hotline number, 988. I need you to reach out and call that number if you are struggling with anything right now. If you know someone that's struggling with something right now, please forward this, text them, send them the number 988. Hey, do me a favor, give them a call. I was thinking about you. It's free, it's confidential, 24 hours, 7 days a week. It's also a chat line that they can actually talk to somebody and chat with. So it's not just someone that's just a customer service person. It's a chat line. You can actually they're paid to listen to you, so they will listen to you and let you tell your story or let you share what's going on. So that's the chat line 988, and then the chat line is the suicide prevention lifeline.org. Suicide prevention lifeline.org. That is the chat line that they can reach. Okay. So um my brother is on, Dr. James Turknick is on, and he's just mentioning in here ministry in the marketplaces, man. Absolutely, brother. And like I said, man, I got to get you back on the show so we can talk more about this because he is definitely a community advocate. He talks to people all the time, you know. So I want to get him back on the show. And he's just a good guy that I just so happen to meet, and I just love talking to people. So if you need help with anything, also here's my brother, Dr. James Turknick. He's on, that's his Facebook page, and we can get you in contact with him too. Drop your comments in the chat. Drop your comments in the chat. I'm looking for your comments, your concerns, your questions. How do I? What can I? I'm I'm here. This is why I'm here. So drop it in the chat. I'm listening. I'm watching. I'm listening, and I can't express to you how much more I'm letting you know that I'm listening. So, but beyond the crisis moments, I want to challenge our community to be a preventative and show some care. Check on your friends, not just when they seem down, but regularly, and learn the warning signs. There are a lot of warning signs that I want you to learn too about this, and let them know that there are resources and become someone's safe place in at their time of need when they're vulnerable. So I'm calling you to action. The people that are watching, I'm calling you to action, and you will be surprised on the lives that you can touch and minister to, because everything that we do is ministry. It's not about just being in the church, it's outside as well. So this September, let's make suicide prevention everyone's responsibility. Can we do that? Everyone that's following, can you share this video? You can follow this on Facebook. You can follow this on YouTube. And my personal Facebook page too. I went ahead and put that up here because I realized that everybody doesn't follow me on the Embrace Your Community podcast, but I wish you would go to the Embrace Your Community podcast and follow me on there as well. Subscribe to YouTube, Embrace Your Community podcast YouTube channel. Okay, follow me there too. So let's make September the suicide prevention that everyone is going to reach out and tell someone about it. Can you promise me or make a pledge to do so? It would be so helpful for me if you can just leave me a chat saying I will help you out. Last week I did a post about saying yes to your positive future, saying yes to the things that you want to do in life, saying yes to what's being put into your spirit about moving forward from stuff mentally, physically, whatever it is. Just say yes to it. You got to start saying yes. That's the only way you're going to be able to move forward. If you keep saying, I don't know, guess what? You're never going to know. If you keep saying, no, I can't, guess what? You will never be able to do it. All right. So, because what embrace it means to me, it really means embracing life. So that's why I'm here. I'm not on here to gossip. I'm not on here to talk about who's doing what in their church. I'm not on here to talk about politics in this world. There's a deeper need in this world that we are missing in social media, and that's caring and making sure that we're responsible for somebody. So that's why I'm taking this platform. And I promise you, I'm not going to stop because I see this going internationally. You hear what I'm saying? I see it going internationally. I can see this going internationally. Whether you come along for the ride or not, watch your boy go internationally. All right. So here's some crisis resources that I want to share with you also. Immediate help. Here's some immediate help. We talked about the 988 suicide crisis line. Call, text 988, of course. And you have your crisis text line home. Crisis text line. Text home to 741 741. 741 741. That's down at the bottom. I'm going to leave this up so that you can probably take a picture of it if you want to keep that. So take a picture of it. So make sure you do that. I'm sorry. I'm like, what is that noise, man? I don't know where it came from, but if you can hear it, I know I can hear it. Hold on one second here. I got some staticky noise going on. Really loud noise. And you know what that is? When you when you have your podcast coming from your home and you got neighbors that have loud vehicles, this is what happens. So I hope you can't hear that, but I can hear it. But anyways, it's annoying. All right, National Suicide Prevention chat line, suicideprevention.org is another one. And then there's some specialized support also that I want to talk about. Some specialized support is the Trevor Project, the LGBTQ plus youth line that you can reach 866-488-7386. And then you have your trans line, also 877-565-8860. Then you have your National Sexual Assault Hotline and then your Veterans Crisis Hotline as well. Uh, and yeah, I do talk about the LGBTQ and youth, because it's in the schools, it's in our church, and it's in my family. So I'm going to talk about it and love on them, because but for the grace of God, there go I. So here's some specialized support that you have here. Take a picture of that if you need to. Um, yeah, let's do that. My brother James talk about being a chaplain. I go to the VA and the airports recently, and I went to the chapel, and the chaplain was at the podium doing his message, or I should say, studying his message. And almost sure I noticed he never looked up and showed any concern at all. It may be a new rule: don't talk to anyone unless they're being asked for help, but keep helping. You know, certain chaplains, and I can't speak for them all, they do what they do. Me, I was just talking to my producer here, and she laughed at me. She said, Bracy, you will talk to a chip on the wall, a piece of dirt on the wall. You will have a conversation. You will have to start a conversation with that. Some people aren't. Some people can't do it. I can do it. I don't mind being that ear. But that's what, to me, the ministry of presence is: walking down the hospital corridors or visiting the nursing homes, or even on my job. People would come to my office. Hey, do you have a minute? And I'd be like, sure. And they would come in, and because they know they feel safe and that their information is confidential. But everybody's not like that, Dr. James. Is that I don't know, man. Yeah. And then a person like me who wants to work full time as a chaplain, trying to get into somewhere like the VA, something like that, I got to go through too many red tapes. So I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing. I think I can reach just as more and tune into people and have them contact me in so many different ways. Also, and that's why I'm just going to keep promoting this life that I love to do, is just helping people also. So some educational resources and video content, if you want to look into that, there's the American Foundation Suicide Prevention. I don't know if I gave my producer this information. It's real for college students and mental health series. There's a book called that. There's Talk Save Lives, educational presentations, personal stories, videos for survivors and survivors as well. That's some information that I also want to share. And then the National Alliance on Mental Health, we talk about mental health and we talk about suicide prevention, but they all go hand in hand. Also talk about the Stigma Free campaign and videos, mental health condition explainer videos, and there's so much resources out there. Hey, I tell you like this: if you want to know more, you can just send me a chat, jump in the chat, and just send me your information, and I'll get this to you, put it in a DM or something like that. The Trevor Project, like I mentioned to you, the LGBTQ youth mental health awareness, coming out, and identity support videos. There's videos for that, crisis intervention training materials, websites also, for that as well. But don't forget the crisis text line, like I told you, talk about. That's another place where you can go and get information, right? I hope this makes sense. And I hope, like I said, I hope this touches someone's life. And that's why I'm here. So during the month of September, here's what we're doing. There's a lot of things going on in the month of September with suicide prevention. They have a host of Hope Walk or community awareness events. So check with your local community, share suicide prevention resources in social media using the hashtag Suicide Prevention Month. Share that, put that on your page for this month if you didn't know this was Suicide Prevention Month. And then organize listening sessions and support groups. You can do that on your own. You can do that in your home, you can do that in your church and all of that stuff. So partner with local crisis centers for volunteer opportunities. I just signed up for one today, and just want to volunteer my time. So there's a lot of opportunities out there for you. And then create hope kits. That's a good idea. I get my producer to see what type of hope kits that we can produce and put together as well. with resources and encouraging notes, just little stuff like that. Because I'm not going to just do September because I'm an advocate for 988. I'm just going to continue to do this all year long. So I'm going to work on some hope kits and get some ideas and get some resources. So if you know some things, hey, shoot me a text or email, let me know. But the year-round advocacy is a must. The advocate for mental health, education, schools, support policies, change for better mental health, accesses as well. Share your story. If you're uncomfortable, it's hard to do, but to try to reduce the stigma, uh, be transparent. It's the hard thing to do is just being transparent because you don't want to be judged. But I've learned being transparent is the best thing that I could have ever decided to do. No matter how embarrassing it was, I'm just going to tell my story and over and over and over again because I've gone through it. I didn't get stuck in it. I've gone through it for a reason, and I believe it's to help somebody else. So let's talk about some warning signs for that you can watch for. And I had put this up. These are called behavior changes that you can also look at. Notice people talking about wanting to die or hurt themselves. That's one. Looking for ways to kill themselves, talking about feeling hopeless or having no purpose, increasing the use of alcohol, drugs. If you see that happening, look for that. Withdrawing from activities, family and friends, just now becoming a loner. Hey, where's uncle? Where's auntie? You don't see them no more. Check on them, sleeping too much or too little. Those are some signs also. And giving away prized possessions. They start just giving away stuff. Hey, you can have this. You want to get this to me? Yeah, that's what happens. So expressing feelings and being trapped, those are other things that of signs that you can look for. So remember that. Remember these things. Take a screenshot picture of that and remember these things. But listen, I'm not going to be on here long. I just wanted to jump on real quick and talk about these things. So when to act. When can you act? Here it is. If you see someone is showing you these signs, especially if they have access to lethal means, weapons, or anything like that, you want to take action immediately. If you don't know what to do, call somebody and let them know what to do, but don't leave them alone. Remove the weapons if you can, or any substances that they might be using, you see laying around, a bunch of pills or alcohol and stuff like that. And then you can also call 988 or emergency service if it gets that bad. That's what you can do. You can reach out that way too. But in closing, remember, you don't have to be a mental health professional to help somebody to save their life. Sometimes caring could be just as simple as listening to help someone through their darkest moments because that's the time when you know someone is really struggling with someone and when they sound like they're rambling and just talking over and over about something or they're just talking, just sit there and listen to them. That's all you need to do. Sit there and listen. Can you do that? Will you do that this September? This month is going to be impacted with so many guests that's going to come on that's going to share some testimonies. I heard one on this Saturday and I invited her to the show for next Sunday, and her testimony and what she's gone through is powerful. So stay tuned and come on back and listen. So I'm gonna leave you with some music and I'm gonna put some slides up, man. I want you to think about this stuff. But this really hits home for me. I lost a good pastor, friend of mine in New York City. He was a pastor and had no clue he was suffering. Good preacher, preaching, married, had a daughter same age as mine, and come to find out that they were best friends. The daughter came home, went in the basement, and found him hanging in the basement, committed suicide. Like I said, it touches home, but so what I need you all to do is pay attention to the signs. All right? Pay attention. Listen. Till I see you again. Like I say it every week. I love you because I love me first. All right? Take care.
Bitter hearts don't hold a smile. Troubled minds will wear you down. Use your past to get ahead. Hold your tears and think instead. You have to find a way to make it. These clouds are letting up for a while. Sometimes you gotta make the mirror your best friend, and maybe then you'll find some peace within. Stop hiding yourself. Stop hiding yourself. Love yourself when no one else can. Now you know the remedy. Tell yourself you will achieve. Just go on and brush your shoulders off. This bridge is one that you must cross. You have to find a way to make it. These clouds are letting up for a while. Sometimes you gotta make mirror your best friend, and maybe then you'll find some peace within. Stop hiding yourself. Stop hiding yourself. Love yourself when no one else can. If you love yourself, you don't need nobody else. Don't need nobody else. No one can love you like you. If you look inside, you'll find where your strength resides. No one can love you like you. Sometimes you gotta make maybe then you'll find some peace within. Stop hiding yourself. Stop hiding yourself. Love yourself like no one else can. Stop hiding yourself. Stop hiding yourself. Love yourself like no one else can. Stop hiding yourself. Stop hiding yourself. Love yourself like no one else can.
Thank you for listening to Embrace It, the community podcast. We'd love to hear from you. Follow the community podcast page on Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube. Please like and share the podcast with your community circle.